We're diving deep into the 1976 D Mint Mark George Washington silver $quarter coin, how to spot one, why it's so rare, and how yours might just be the golden, scratch that, silver ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. But don't blink, because by the end of this video you'll either be racing to check your coin stash, or kicking yourself for not doing it sooner. Let's unlock the secrets of America's hidden silver fortune. It was 1976. America was celebrating 200 years of independence. Flags waved, drums rolled, and the U.S. Mint released a special quarter, one that would change the game forever. But what most didn't know is that not all 1976 quarters were created equal. Most were clad in copper and nickel. But a rare few, a tiny fraction, were minted in silver, and fewer still bore the D Mint mark, produced in Denver. Now here's the twist, and no, before you ask, George Washington didn't personally sign any of these, but if he did, even Martha would be cashing in. The 1976 D silver quarter is one of the most mysterious, misidentified, and underappreciated coins in U.S. history. Because even experts misplace it in boxes labeled junk change. But there's one detail that separates a regular quarter from one worth over six figures, and chances are, you've never even noticed it. Let's break it down. To understand the value, you need to know what makes this coin so special. Genuine silver versions contain 40% silver, making them precious metal assets. The D from Denver is rarer than the Philadelphia or San Francisco counterparts. Graded MS-67 and higher, these coins fetch astronomical prices. Misstrikes, double dies, and off-center prints? Jackpot. These variants can double or triple a coin's worth. The window to capitalize on this opportunity is closing fast. As more coins are being discovered and sold, the market saturation could drive prices down, meaning your coin might be worth less tomorrow than it is today. Think of it like avocado toast. Worth a fortune 1 minute, mushy and forgotten the next. But here's the million-dollar question: how do you know if your quarter is the one? Locate your 1976 quarters. Yes, even the ones hiding in your car's cup holder. Look for the D Mint mark on the coin's obverse, right next to Washington's hair. Silver coins have a whiter edge with no orange stripe. A quick weigh-in helps. Silver quarters weigh 5.75 grams, not the usual 5.67. Inspect for condition and errors. If you find a flawless finish or strange misprint, it's time to get excited. Send it for professional grading, from PCGS or NGC. If it scores high, you could be sitting on a six-figure asset. Imagine turning that forgotten relic into the down payment for your dream home, or your retirement fund. Or just never working another Monday again. But here's the heartbreaking part: most people will throw theirs away, never knowing what they had. Hit that like button if you learned something today. Subscribe for more coin hunting secrets. And don't forget to check your change, because your silver fortune might be just one coin away. Would you like a matching voiceover script breakdown, video edit suggestions, or thumbnail/title ideas for this video as well? What if I told you that a single coin, one you might already have stashed in an old shoebox, could be your golden ticket to a six-figure payday, and maybe even a life of unimaginable freedom? One rare 1992 P Mint Mark George Washington silver $quarter just shocked the market by being valued at a staggering $685,000, and that's not even the highest bid it's seen. Let me guess, you're wondering if your old quarters are secretly laughing at you from your junk drawer right now? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how this little coin could turn your maybe someday into why not today. Let's set the stage. It's 1992. Bill Clinton is campaigning, grunge is taking over the airwaves, and quietly, in the halls of the Philadelphia Mint, something remarkable is struck into silver. Among the millions of ordinary quarters minted that year, a tiny handful were made from 90% silver, a composition that hadn't been standard since 1964. Why? A mistake? A test run? Theories vary, but the result is the same: an anomaly worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's the kicker: most people don't even know they have one. These coins blend in, hiding in plain sight. Could yours be one of them? Now let's talk value, because this isn't just about nostalgia. This is about generational wealth hiding in your drawer. What makes one 1992 quarter worth 25 cents, and another worth over $500,000? It all comes down to a few rare features. Here's what to look for: mint mark, P, just above the date. The P means it was minted in Philadelphia, weighs slightly less, 6.25 grams versus 5.67. A jeweler's scale can reveal the truth, indicates a proof or test coin. The edge of the coin should show no copper strip, pure silver all the way through. Don't go chucking every quarter at a jeweler just yet, unless you want to be the weird neighbor with a scale and a magnifying glass. One verified 1992 P silver quarter recently sold for $685,000 at a private auction. But why that much? Because it wasn't just rare, it was nearly perfect. And in the coin world, perfection is priceless. This coin isn't just a collector's dream, it's a symbol. A signal to millions of Americans that hidden wealth could be closer than they think. Imagine discovering your quarter is worth more than your car. Or your house. Or the job you've worked for 30 years. It's not just possible, it's happening right now. The market is hot, but it won't stay this way forever. As more of these coins surface, demand will drop. That $685,000 price tag? It's a ticking clock. You're not just selling a coin. You're buying freedom. Time. The ability to finally upgrade your life, to travel, to retire early, to live the dream you've been putting off. What if this isn't just about a quarter? What if this is your quarter, your moment? Check your old coin jars. Look in that drawer, that old piggy bank, the glove compartment. It's not a wild goose chase. It's a treasure hunt, with real stakes. And get this, the 1992 P isn't the only quarter worth a fortune. There's another, even rarer, hiding in plain sight. Want to know what it is? That's coming in our next video. If you found this valuable, don't just keep it to yourself. Like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1992 quarter, we'll help you check it. And hey, it might just change your life. What if I told you, a simple quarter, yes, the one tossed into a jar 60 years ago, could now be worth over $685,000? It's not a fairy tale. It's not a scam. It's a silver truth buried in millions of American homes. The 1965 no-mint mark George Washington silver quarter dollar is out there. Rare. Real. And, for one lucky person, it turned into a near $1 million discovery. Let's rewind. It's 1965. The Beatles are on the radio, the Vietnam War is heating up, and America is facing a coin crisis. Silver prices are soaring, and the US Mint makes a bold move. They stop producing quarters with silver. Well, at least, they meant to. That year, almost all quarters were made from clad copper nickel, but a few slipped through the cracks. Mistakes happen, even in government. And in this case? That mistake could make you rich. The 1965 no-mint mark silver quarter shouldn't exist. But it does. And collectors? They're desperate to find it. So if you're thinking, PSH, I've got a jar full of quarters in the garage, well, stop laughing, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. One of these coins recently sold for $685,000. Imagine flipping a 25-cent piece into a house. A yacht. A legacy. It's not about the quarter. It's about what it represents, rare opportunity. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one? Here's the checklist. Pull out your quarters and look for these signs. 1965, that's your starting point. On Washington quarters, no letter means it was minted in Philadelphia. The silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams versus the standard 5.67 g clad quarter. Tap it lightly with another coin. Hear a high-pitched ring? That silver singing to your wallet. Don't go clanging your entire change jar in the middle of a grocery store aisle. Trust me, I've tried. People stare. Use a digital scale. A magnet. Or better yet, go to a trusted coin dealer or numismatist. Get it graded. But here's the kicker, most people won't even check. They'll toss that quarter in a soda machine, clueless they just spent a $600,000 silver heirloom on a can of Diet Cola. Don't be that person. Because the difference between pocket change and generational wealth is knowledge. And timing. The market is on fire right now. Collectors are hunting harder than ever. The last big sale, $685,000, and it's climbing. So now you're staring at that drawer. That box. That jar. Could it be? Could this be your moment? Because someone, somewhere, is holding this coin and doesn't even know it. What if it's you? Imagine paying off your mortgage. Starting your dream business. Retiring early. All because you took 10 minutes to check your change. You see, this isn't just about coins. It's about the life you've always wanted. People say there's no such thing as easy money. But sometimes, life drops a silver miracle in your palm, and waits to see if you'll notice. And if that doesn't motivate you to check your couch cushions, I don't know what will. Unless you're actively avoiding six figures for fun, when it could have been your moment in the spotlight. This coin is real. The money is real. The opportunity is ticking. Check your 1965 quarters. Use a scale. Get it tested. Share this video with friends and family, you never know who's sitting on a gold mine. Studio microphone, and if you think this coin is incredible, wait till you hear about the 1970 Washington quarter that sold for $35,000 because of a minting error. But that's a story for next time, studio microphone, so hit subscribe, because your next life-changing discovery might just be one coin away. Wait, don't check your coin jar just yet, because what you're about to learn could change everything. Welcome to Coin Vault Legends, where forgotten change turns into fortune, and the stories behind America's rarest currency unlock doors to wealth you never knew existed. But first, let me ask you something. Backhand index pointing right, when's the last time you really looked at your pocket change? Eyes still tossing coins into that drawer like they're junk mail? Well, today might just be the day that changes your life, because in this episode, we're going deep into the mysterious and electrifying story of the 1984 George Washington silver quarter, a coin so rare, so desirable, that it's now being valued at over $685,000 on the open market. But it wasn't always this way. Let's go back to the beginning. In 1984, the Denver Mint released millions of quarters, but something unusual happened that year. Among the sea of standard-clad coins, a microscopic mistake changed everything. A few, and I mean a very few, of these quarters were minted using a silver alloy that wasn't supposed to exist post-1976. That made them immediate outliers, errors, anomalies, ghosts in the machine, but no one noticed. For decades. To the naked eye, they looked ordinary. But to an expert, these rare quarters told a different story. They shimmered slightly different. Their weight was off by just a hair. And that D mint mark, that tiny detail on the coin's face, holds the key to unlocking their true worth. Here's where it gets wild. In early 2024, one such coin surfaced at a private auction in Las Vegas. It wasn't flashy. It didn't come in a velvet box. In fact, it came from someone's glove compartment. The final sale price? $685,000. That's when the coin world exploded. Collectors began scouring every 1984 quarter in existence. Hey honey, I'm not coming to dinner, I'm checking the couch cushions for treasure. But in all seriousness, only a handful of these coins are known to exist. And guess what? You might have one. Right now, Americans across the country are waking up to the gold mine in their own homes. From attics to nightstands, from forgotten piggy banks to inherited collections, this is the modern-day treasure hunt, and you have a map. if you know what to look for. Here's what makes the 1984 D silver quarter valuable. It weighs approximately 6.25 grams, unlike the usual 5.67 grams. It has a silver luster instead of the usual nickel cladding. It carries the D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver, and it often comes with faint strike doubling or die cracks, which increase its value dramatically. And here's the kicker: most people have no idea what they're holding. That's why collectors are racing to private sellers. Appraisers are being booked out weeks in advance. The market is red hot. And the value? Climbing by the day. But what if I told you that this isn't the only coin worth a fortune in your stash? In fact, the 1984 D might just be the beginning. If you're sitting on a potential windfall, the time to act is now. Because wealth, real wealth, doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Click the link in the description. Mobile phone with arrow. Subscribe now, because in the next episode, we reveal the shocking story of a misprinted bicentennial quarter that sold for over $1.2 million. What if I told you that a simple quarter, a dusty old coin sitting in your kitchen drawer, could be worth $685,000? And no, this isn't a scam, a fairy tale, or one of those too good to be true Facebook posts from your cousin. This is real. And it's happening right now, in the hands of everyday Americans like you. So before you toss your old coins into the coin jar, stop. This video could be the key to unlocking a six-figure treasure hiding in plain sight. Let's rewind to 1967. The Beatles were on every radio. Gas was 33 cents a gallon. And the US Mint was in overdrive, producing millions of coins for a booming post-war economy. But something strange happened that year. A George Washington quarter dollar was struck, without a mint mark. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. Just blank. A ghost in the system. A fluke that was never meant to survive. Most people never noticed. I mean, who checks their coins, right? But a few did. And decades later, this no mint mark quarter turned up in auctions, selling not for 25 cents, but for hundreds of thousands of dollars. One pristine specimen, recently valued at $685,000. And experts believe there are still dozens, maybe hundreds, out there, waiting to be found. But what makes this quarter so special? And how do you know if you have one? Stay with me. Now, let's talk numbers. Why is this little coin commanding a six-figure price tag? First, rarity. 1967 quarters were supposed to be standard-clad coins. Silver had been mostly phased out. But due to either a minting error or a rogue batch, a few were accidentally struck with the wrong composition. Some of these quarters contain up to 40% silver, and that alone makes them unusual. But here's the kicker: most people have already spent theirs. Or worse, they've been melted down. Imagine unknowingly handing your future grandkids' college fund to a vending machine for a soda. This is why condition matters. Uncirculated coins or quarters in mint state can fetch a premium. A coin graded MS 67 or above? That's where you start hitting the $100,000 plus mark. And just like fine wine, coins age well. Their value climbs as the supply shrinks and demand soars. Think of it like real estate, but for your pocket. But here's the part that could change your life: if you're between 30 and 65, you're likely sitting on coin jars, collections from parents or grandparents, or old change from road trips long past. So how do you know if your 1967 quarter is the one? No mint mark on the front, beneath Washington's ponytail. No heavy scratches or wear. Might contain silver. Look for MS 65 and up. The clock is ticking. Every day, coins like these disappear, spent, lost, or tossed aside. But with a few minutes and a magnifying glass, you could uncover a fortune buried in your own home. Who knew grandma's change bowl was actually a 401k? Imagine walking into a coin show with a pocketful of loose change, and walking out a millionaire. This isn't just about a quarter. It's about financial freedom, about taking control of your wealth, starting with what you already own. You've got the knowledge now. You've got the potential. The only question is, will you check your coins, or will you let someone else cash in on your treasure? If you found this video eye-opening, subscribe for more hidden coin stories that could change your life. Drop a comment if you've got a 1967 quarter, or if you want help identifying your collection. And remember, welcome to the most profitable 10 minutes of your week. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify this rare coin, and how to sell it for life-changing money. Let's rewind. The year was 1982. Ronald Reagan was president. The economy was shaky. And the US Mint? Well, they made a decision that changed coin collecting forever. Due to rising production costs, 1982 was the first year the US Mint stopped producing quarters with dates stamped on them using the old high-quality dies. In this transition, a small number of quarters were accidentally struck on 90% silver planchets, blanks meant for earlier coins. Most were melted down. A few escaped into circulation, and here's where the story gets thrilling. A rare few of these Denver-minted silver quarters made it into the public's hands, and today, coin collectors are fighting to find them. But how do you know if the coin you're holding is one of these unicorns? We'll get to that in just a second. First, let's break down the anatomy of this six-figure coin. 1982. Look for the tiny D under Washington's neck. That's the Denver Mint. The genuine silver-era coin weighs 6.25 grams, not 5.67 like standard copper-nickel quarters. Drop it gently on a hard surface. Silver rings. Nickel doesn't. Don't do the drop test on your grandma's antique table. She will not be impressed. In January of this year, one of these exact coins, flawless condition, certified, sold at auction $4,685,000. Most people who owned these coins had no idea they gave them as change. Used them at laundromats. Lost them in couch cushions. So how do you make sure you don't miss your shot at fortune? Start by checking your change. Go through your old jars, inherited collections, estate sales, and antique shops. If you find a 1982 D quarter, weigh it first. 6.25 grams. You're in the game. Next, inspect it for sharpness, luster, and clarity. These affect value dramatically. Then, send it to a certified grading service, NGC or PCGS. They authenticate and grade the coin. This is critical. A coin graded MS67 Plus is where the six-figure territory begins, and here's where the urgency comes in. The market is red hot right now. Wealthy collectors are buying rare coins like art, because in uncertain economies, physical assets like these explode in value. If you've ever dreamed of financial freedom, early retirement, or even just a completely debt-free life, this could be your golden, well, silver ticket. Or hey, maybe it just means a new truck and finally finishing that kitchen remodel. You do you. That rare coin could be sitting just a few feet away from you. Maybe in a box marked junk, maybe hiding in a roll you haven't opened in years, but it's not junk. It's history. It's wealth, and it's waiting. Subscribe if you want to uncover more hidden treasures, and drop a comment if you think you found one. We might even feature your story in the next video. What if I told you that a single coin sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer could be worth more than your entire retirement savings? Yes, this isn't a dream or some get-rich-quick gimmick. It's a real story, and it starts with a silver quarter minted in 1997. With a tiny D mark. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover how one rare coin, often mistaken for pocket change, is now valued at up to $685,000, and some experts believe its price could explode past $1 million. Now, have you checked your change lately? It all began in Denver, Colorado in 1997. Millions of quarters were minted with the familiar face of George Washington. But what makes some of these coins dramatically different, is what went wrong at the mint. Due to a rare production error, and a secret twist in the metal composition, only a handful of these quarters were struck using 90% silver, a practice long abandoned since 1964. But here's the kicker, they still bear the D mint mark. From the outside, they look just like every other 1997 quarter. Now imagine tossing one of these into a vending machine for a bag of stale peanuts. That's a $685,000 snack, my friend. Collectors have spent years searching for these elusive coins. And just recently, one surfaced, selling for an astonishing $685,000 in a private auction. This wasn't in a museum. It wasn't locked in a vault. It was sitting in someone's house, just like yours. The question is, how many more are out there, unclaimed, unnoticed, and maybe in your possession? Let's talk specifics. The 1997 Washington quarter you're looking for isn't just valuable because it's old. It's valuable because of three things: minting error, silver composition, condition. The minting error. Look closely. Some 1997 quarters were struck on leftover silver planchets, a serious mistake. Instead of the standard copper nickel clad, these have the weight and ring of real silver, but there's one more test you must do to confirm if it's the real deal, and we'll get to that in just a second. The silver composition. You can weigh the coin. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. A silver one? Around 6.25 grams. That tiny difference? Worth hundreds of thousands. Honestly, it's the only time gaining a little weight actually pays off. Even if you've got the right coin, condition matters. A mint state coin, MS 65 and above, fetches top dollar. That $685,000 sale? Graded MS 68. And now for that crucial test I mentioned earlier, the ping test. Silver coins emit a high-pitched ringing sound when gently tapped. If it sings like a bell, you might just be holding your golden, well, silver goose. Here's where it gets real. These coins are disappearing fast. Private collectors are scooping them up, dealers are placing bounties, and once they're in the hands of museums or locked in safes, they're gone from circulation forever. You may only have one shot at discovering a life-changing coin. And the window? It's closing. Fast. That if you're over 30, you probably remember finding coins in jars, in junk drawers, or passed down from relatives. This is your chance to turn forgotten change into financial freedom, pay off your mortgage, start that dream business, take the vacation you've only seen in travel magazines. But it all begins with one coin. I've seen people cry over finding one of these. Look for the D mint mark. Do the weight and ping test. If you find one, do not sell it at a pawn shop. Contact a reputable numismatic expert or auction house immediately. Sometimes, wealth doesn't come from hustle or luck. Sometimes, it's been sitting in your pocket the whole time.